Hey, it's your boy, the Mass Critique, and we in Dark Corner Diaries. Thank you for taking the time out to come and join me. You could have spent your time anywhere, but you decided to spend your time with me. And for that, I'm truly appreciative. Today, we're going to search the dark corners of this internet. We're going to find out the government conspiracies because, while we're going about our day, man, the government is covering up all kind of shit on us. And we just are not knowing about this shit, you know what I'm talking about? So we're gonna find out today, and I thank you for joining me for this. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, sit down, look around, hope you find everything when you need to find it, and we're gonna get in these videos.
You'd be up at night worrying about or thinking about this stuff. We briefed last week on an issue, or excuse me, 2 weeks ago, and it would have set the earth off. This country would have come unglued, I think, if they would have heard all that I heard. They would demand answers, and we need to. It's never going to get. And unfortunately, it just keeps getting covered up, and the people that know are dying or disappearing, as the case may be.
Wow.
And for the record, I'm not suicidal, and I don't take risks.
So. I'm glad you said that. I'm speapless, Congressman.
And I told the president, release it all. And the problem is the people that are around the president don't know and the president doesn't know the questions to ask. A few of us are going to have to get with the president and tell him what he needs to ask and where he needs to look. And the public has a right to know, dadgummit. It's your tax dollars.
I appreciate you being as forthcoming.
So the fact that man had to say that he's not suicidal and things of that nature, that lets you know the government covers up shit all the time. Man, we should be wary. We just caring about our day and all kind of stuff going on. These aliens are real, and yes, I definitely want to know. Just release the stuff. I do not want to know again. If that's the correct way of saying it, you know what I'm talking about? But anyway, let's go on to the next one and see what they talking about. Okay.
15 years, the FBI ran a secret war against American citizens. They didn't just spy on civil rights leaders, they tried to destroy them. The Bureau sent Martin Luther King Jr. a letter urging him to kill himself. COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence program, was FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover's weapon against anyone he considered a threat. The targets were civil rights activists, Black Panthers, anti-war protesters, feminists, and even Albert Einstein. The goal, in Hoover's own words, was to expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize. After King's I Have a Dream speech, Hoover labeled him the most dangerous Negro in America. FBI agents bugged his hotel rooms, recorded his affairs, and mailed him the tapes with an anonymous letter. There is only one way out for you. You better take it before your filthy, fraudulent self is bared to the nation. King understood. They wanted him dead. The FBI didn't stop at intimidation. They forged letters to spark violence between black groups. They fed false information to police. In 1969, Chicago police raided Black Panther leader Fred Hampton's apartment at 4 a.m., using floor plans provided by an FBI informant who had drugged Hampton that night. Hampton was shot in his bed. He was 21. The program stayed secret until 1971, when activists broke into an FBI office during the Ali Frazier fight and stole the files. The documents shocked America. The FBI apologized in 1974, but no one went to prison. Iran-Contra affair. The Reagan administration sold weapons to Iran, a country it publicly called a terrorist state, then used the profits to fund rebels in Nicaragua. Congress had explicitly banned both. When caught, they shredded the evidence. The Contras were Nicaraguan guerrillas fighting the leftist Sandinista government. Reagan called them the moral equivalent of our founding fathers. Congress disagreed and passed the Boland Amendment, making it illegal to fund them. Reagan told his National Security Council to keep the Contras alive anyway, body and soul. Meanwhile, Hezbollah was holding 7 American hostages in Lebanon. Reagan's team hatched a plan: sell missiles to Iran, which backed Hezbollah, use Iran's influence to free the hostages, and funnel the profits to the Contras. One illegal operation would finance another. Over 1,500 missiles went to Iran. 3 hostages were released, and 3 more were taken. When a Lebanese magazine exposed the scheme in November 1986, Reagan went on national television and denied everything. A week later, he admitted the arms sales but insisted it wasn't arms for hostages. Attorney General Edwin Meese then revealed the Contra connection. Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, the operations architect, shredded so many documents he jammed the White House shredder. His secretary smuggled classified papers out in her boots and dress. 14 officials were charged. Most were pardoned by George Bush, who had been vice president during the scandal. Nobody served significant prison time. Pat Tillman. Pat Tillman walked away from a $3.6 million NFL contract to fight in Afghanistan after 9/11. When he was killed, the Army told America he died charging enemy fire. They gave him a Silver Star. They made him a hero, but it was all a lie. Tillman was killed by his own men, friendly fire in a confused firefight. The Army knew within 24 hours. They burned his uniform and body armor. They burned his diary. They ordered his platoon mates to stay silent. Even his brother Kevin, who was in the same unit but hadn't witnessed the shooting. Then they staged a funeral. A Navy SEAL friend delivered a eulogy based on a script the military gave him an hour before, a fictional account of Tillman's heroic death fighting the enemy. The family didn't learn the truth until 5 weeks later, when a reporter called asking for comment. Why the cover-up? Because Tillman had become a problem. He called the Iraq War so incredibly illegal. He'd arranged to meet Noam Chomsky after returning home to discuss going public against the war. The Army's poster boy was about to become its loudest critic. The lies came from the top. Generals knew. Documents were doctored. When investigators pushed for a murder inquiry, Army officers shut it down, then sent each other congratulatory emails. 4 investigations, 9 officers recommended for discipline, and 0 prosecutions. Tillman's mother spent 20 years fighting for the truth, and the Army never even apologized. Edward Snowden. In 2013, a 29-year-old NSA contractor named Edward Snowden leaked the largest trove of classified documents in American history. They revealed that the U.S. government was spying on everyone. The NSA had built a global surveillance machine. PRISM gave the agency direct access to servers at Google, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, and Yahoo, collecting emails, chats, photos, and videos. Xkeyscore let analysts search through virtually anything anyone did online. The agency was collecting metadata on every phone call made in America, tracking who called whom, when, and for how long. They weren't just watching terrorists. The NSA monitored 35 world leaders, including German Chancellor Angela Merkel. They spied on the United Nations, the European Union, and even their own allies. One program tracked the location of hundreds of millions of cell phones daily. Another cracked the encryption protecting banking and medical records. When asked directly by Congress whether the NSA collected data on millions of Americans, Director of National Intelligence James Clapper said, "No, it was a lie, under oath, to the people's elected representatives." The government's response to Snowden's revelations was not reform, it was prosecution. He was charged under the Espionage Act and fled to Russia, where he remains. A federal court later ruled the program illegal.
Okay. In that little short clip right there, in quick 5 minutes right there, all those cover-ups, back to back to back to back. The Iran Contra, Martin Luther King, Eric Snowden done listening to us. I really don't think the government is for us. From time to time again, from taxes that we were supposed to stop paying since World War I, wasn't they started taxes in World War I, but it was supposed to end afterwards. But anyway, from time every time we turn around and we look, man, it's like the government is against us. They hiding stuff from us. They covering up this, and when they release classified things, everything is redacted. They're working for us. Why are we paying taxes? If they can't give us what we want, they're working for us, and they're treating us like we're not even, like we're not even people. Anyway, to the next video. See what they tell me.
Alien situation and story.
Y'all know the drill. This is purely for entertainment purposes only. All things stated are just speculation. We're just having fun, goofing around.
First thing this morning, I shared a video testimony of one of the witnesses that was at the mall. He explained that he and his girlfriend were in town and they were on vacation and they were at the mall shopping when suddenly all hell broke loose. People started running and screaming, and he claimed to have witnessed to see these 8 to 10 foot tall creatures, explaining that they were black, but they were almost kind of translucent. They would appear and then disappear and then reappear. They were 8 to 10 foot tall creatures, and these creatures had everybody in the mall panicking and running for safety. Some were pew-pewing at these creatures for defense and protection against them. Not long after I shared his video, a lot of my followers stated that he had now recanted his story, claiming to just been trolling. But If you ask me, I feel as though somebody got a hold of him, trying to silence him and cover up the truth behind the story, as they're trying to make us believe that it was... I can't anymore. It was due to a fight breaking out between juveniles, about 50 to maybe 100 juveniles max, who had sticks. But none of us are buying that because hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of police officers showed up to the scene, a helicopter pursuit overhead, patrolling the crime scene from above. The Miami airport was shut down, no flights in or out. Power was actually cut to the mall and 61,290 surrounding homes, and the police scanner was cut to the public. Seems pretty aggressive and an intense thing to do for some teenagers with sticks. Some of my eagle-eye viewers noticed in my video that there was a strange being, a creature caught on the video. I shared that video just a little bit ago. Check it out. I'll share it here as well too. But it seems we have another witness. And more footage, a picture of the alien creature. Well, we all know what it is. It's not an alien. A demonic being. Most likely Nephilim. These 8 to 10 foot tall demonic beings were spotted by mall goers in Miami, both inside and outside of the mall. And it does seem that this other eyewitness who encountered these creatures, these beings, had a very, very similar description to share. Whew, busy day for the Miami alien situation and story.
Y'all know the drill. This is purely for entertainment purposes only. All things stated are just speculation. We're just having fun.
Yeah, it took a minute to cut that off. Shit. What was going on just now? But anyway, last video for the night. Miami incident. I've been, when the incident first happened, I was trying to find, they never came up with a video of the alien creatures. It would have been nice to see a video of that, but it was a lot of police officers down there just for a juvenile fight. Cover up too. Me, myself, I'm just sick and tired of covering up, and I hope you are too. Anyway, that's the end of the videos tonight, man. Thank you for taking the time out to come in and enjoy this thing with me. I hope that you like everything like how it was. You found everything that you've been looking for. Remember, man, I want you to comment, like, subscribe. Help me make this thing grow. Subscribe with me. I'm just asking. It don't take nothing. Just touch a little button, you know what I'm talking about, to get me into your flow of your day, your little routine, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, you could have been any place in the world, but you decided to spend this little bit of time with me. For that, I'm appreciative. Again, it's your boy Critique, the Mass Critic, coming from Dark Corner Diaries. Thank you. You have a blessed night.